inspires many while doing what she loves. And while she has skills on the field, she also has skills off the field as well. Some may say that she's the ortho queen. I say that she's all that and more. I attribute my thoroughness and anticipation in the OR to her. The backbone of the OR, my favorite scrub tech, mom, friend, entrepreneur. Let's welcome Nikia to the Evolved Nurse Podcast.
Oh my God, that intro, girl.
Thank you, girl. So the first thing that I normally ask people who come onto the podcast is, did you really want to be in the career that you are in? So did you always find yourself wanting to be a surgical technologist?
No.
Okay.
No. This kind of just fell into my lap because in Daytona, where I'm from, they don't really promote surgical techs, so I didn't really know it was a thing. So I didn't find out about surgical technology until I moved to Jacksonville.
Okay, and can you tell people what a surgical technologist is? We're going to call them a scrub tech because that's what we call them, but the full name is a surgical technologist because most people are asking the question, what is a surgical technologist and is a scrub tech the same thing?
It is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
To describe what we do, though, is so hard because people think, oh, they just pass instruments.
Mm-hmm.
We do pass instruments, but it's way more to it than that. Like, you have to set up the surgery. You have to know that surgery like the back of your hand because you're keeping the surgeon in line.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you'll hear the saying, give me what I need, not what I ask for.
Right.
Because he may ask you for something and you're not on that step yet, or that's not what he needs. So there's a lot of anticipation that goes with it. There's a lot of critical thinking because sometimes you have to think for them, even though they're the surgeon.
You do.
And you gotta, because at the end of the day, your patient is your priority.
Yes.
And so you have to make sure that that surgeon is providing the best care for that patient.
Yes, and like she said, making sure that you're anticipating, that you're on your game, because there are a lot of things that go into being a scrub tech. People really do see y'all and they feel like, oh, they just handed the instruments. What if somebody asks you for an instrument and that's not the name of it at this facility?
Mm-hmm.
And at another facility, they're calling it the surgeon's name. Mm-hmm. Like, it goes through SPD and they're all calling it by the surgeon's name. This is not what this instrument is called at all.
Oh, a lot of my instruments are called, what they'll say, next jig.
What is that? What is that?
You know what? I know what it is because I know my case and I know what we're doing. However, I ran into a problem when I was training and I'm like, trying to tell my scrub tech, I said, you know what? He called this next jig. I don't know the real name of it.
Yes, like we need to find this out. Now we got to Google the description of this item, and you really don't even know how to explain it half the time. It has 5 zigzags on the left side. It is a lot that goes into the work that you do. But let's go all the way back to where it started. What made you want to become a scrub tech?
I didn't know I wanted to become a scrub tech.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in school. And I actually applied to 3 different programs. And to be honest, I didn't get into any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And surgical technology was the one. It was surgical technology, radiology, and radiation therapies. Mm-hmm. And I ended up not getting into any of the programs. But then, like, a few days before, no, actually the day before surgical technology classes were due to start, I got a call saying I got a seat in the program. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, but how I got to that, I just chose 3 things that I thought I would be interested in because one of my case managers at the time that helped me get back into school, she was like, okay, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Let's figure it out.
What are we doing? So I had to, pick a program. I had to see which one I would be happy in. And those were my top 3 that I thought I would like. Mm-hmm. And surgical technologist was the one that I got accepted to. So that's where I went. But that's where I was meant to be. I mean, looking back on it, that is where I was meant to be, because I couldn't have. We have radiologists that come in radiology techs that come in OR, and I'm like, I couldn't have done that. Like I don't want to do that. I'm glad I didn't do
bored doing that.
Yes, but my little self, I'm not pushing no C-arm up and down the hallways.
The C-arms, all the, I do see what you're saying. But wherever she would have landed, she would have succeeded.
Oh, well, thank you.
But what was your journey like through the Scrub Tech program?
Oh, okay, so I actually had a good experience. Because, I had the 2 programs that I partnered with, that one paid my bills while I was in school, and then one paid for school. So I did not work while I was going to surgical technology school, and I didn't have to worry about anything. So it wasn't a bad experience. It wasn't horrible for me. I only had school to focus on.
I think that that's important to talk about too, because a lot of times, whenever you're going through these programs, you have 15 jobs because you're trying to maintain the program, but you're also trying to maintain, at the time you were a mom, maintain being a mom, maintain food. The inflation is high, so maintaining the economy while also being in school has also been a struggle for most people, and not having to do that is a huge benefit. So as she said, find those programs that you can look into so that you can go to school for free. So since you were able to find a program that helped you to build your life forward, how would you say for others to look for those programs? How did you find out about them?
They found me. They found me. This was a new program that they had started because they saw that there was a need in the area for single moms. And they did that research by helping people with light bills. I went to a program and I got help with the light bill because, listen, let me tell y'all, I moved to Jacksonville on a wing and a prayer. Okay, I just picked up and left. Didn't know how, never paid full rent in my life. And I just moved up here and thought I was going to get me a place on $10 an hour. And they was kicking my butt at first. And I was got to do something. So I got help with my light bill. And then they created that program based on, the people that they helped.
Oh, okay.
And that's how, that's what led me here.
Okay. So if you are looking for programs similar to that, you can use handy dandy Google to kind of see where they are in your city, your state, because sometimes it's locally, right? Sometimes it's, say for instance, where we are, it would be that county. So look for places that offer grants, scholarships, and things of that nature if you want to go forward into the surgical tech career field. So how would you say that it started out for you once you exited out of your program and entered into the field?
How was it for me? So in my class, I was the one that I felt like I was the one who. So I was the only one. My teacher came and she presented a job opportunity to the whole class. She said I was the only one that took it. Now I'm sitting in a classroom with high school students. Well, not high school students, but people that had just graduated, or either wives and their husbands. Nobody that had a need for a job at the moment. But I did. I was a single mama with 2 kids at the time, and I needed a job. I was ready to work. That's right. And the first job I took, it was in endo. That is not where I wanted to be, but I was like, it'll get me in a hospital, it's a foot in the door, and I can always transfer later. And so that's what I did. I did 3 months of endo, and I transferred to the main OR.
Okay. And you had multiple experiences, so you started at one facility and then you transferred to the facility that we met at?
Yes.
Okay.
I started downtown, and then I ended up transferring to the main OR because that's where they had the opening at Beaches.
So what led you to ortho? Let's get into it.
Girl, it chose me. Once again, it chose me. Because when I was in clinicals, I had 3 days of ortho, and I hated it.
Like, These doctors are the creme de la creme in their heads and everybody else's heads, and you know sometimes they are a lot to deal with.
And this surgeon in particular, he was just messing people, and he was mean for
no
like
reason to get a
just to be like. But after that, by that third day, I told my instructor, I said, if you put me in his room one more time, I'm going to quit this program. Now, I couldn't really quit the program because I'm like, these people paying for this. Like, I can't quit for real. You know, there's people depending on me to finish this program.
Yeah, really.
But that's what I told her, and I was serious. Like, come on now, put me in there again. And so the funny thing is, when I was in my interview, when I was interviewing for the main OR, I told the lady, I don't like ortho. I had 3 days in clinicals. I don't want to do it. I explained all this to her. I don't like it.
They didn't care.
They did. Because that's exactly what they put me.
I was like, they're like, you hear nobody likes ortho. Nobody likes ortho. And so they're going to put you there because they don't have other people to deal with those surgeons. They automatically be like, because when I started, they were like, ENT, you know, nobody could go with the ENT doc that was there except for one nurse. And he tolerated me. So they were like, you got to be ENT. I said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not going in their room. Like, you're not about to stick me in ENT.
But for ortho, what it is that's their bread and butter. Most hospitals, ortho is their top service.
Yes.
So that's what they need people to know. I was like, well, if y'all gonna keep putting me in here, I might as well
start to love it.
I want to say start to love it. That wasn't my words. I was like, well, I might as well learn it, and you know, at least enough to do my job. And when I do something, I'm going to do it well. So I might as well learn it. I might as well. Y'all gonna keep putting me in here.
Yeah.
So I got good at it. And the funny thing is, there was this nurse, right? And she was like, you did really, by the time I got to a place where I'm like, oh my God, I got through a whole case. Okay, all right. This. She was like, you did really well. I said, don't tell nobody.
Oh.
Don't tell nobody. And what she did?
Told everybody.
Because
now that's why I call her the ortho queen, y'all, because she will literally be in one case, break down that case, go flip over into the other room, set up that case, and she will be operating both rooms. And that's because she may be the only person who knows how to do particular cases because they told everybody that she know how to do it. So now every surgeon is wanting her in their rooms. So that's like some nurses be like, don't tell them that I do a good job. Because once you tell somebody that you do a good job, they're like, get her. Get her. Now they're overworking. Now you're tired.
He told, somebody came in and he was introducing the new tech. She was assistant. And he was asking her about her past experiences because she was a traveler. So it was, just conversation. He was asking her, about her past experience traveling, hospital she went to, was she on a team, stuff like that. And he said, yeah, we have a ortho team here. It's Nikia.
That's it.
And I was like,
that's all.
So I'm the team. I'm the whole team.
You the whole team because they don't have specialties. So since they don't always have like strict specialties at smaller hospitals, then normally they would have the ortho team. But you are the team because they would float people in and out of that room. Aside from the people who came from the surgery center after COVID, then they kind of sort of started being in those rooms more often because I think maybe they did those surgeries at the surgery center. Like they kind of knew the surgeons a little bit.
No, he wanted me in his room. And so I was a team. He would have 2 rooms, and I would have to finish that case. When they would start the closing, I would leave, let the other tech finish up the closing while I go set up the other room, scrub that case, and then go back to the other. And
you've been doing it ever since?
Yeah.
And how long have you been there?
This year made 8 years.
Ooh, child. Look at her. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to be a surgical tech?
I will say it's one of those things that you want to research. Make sure it's what you want to do, because call life, I did call for 8 years. I just stopped taking calls. And at first, I thought it was cool.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's so cool. Grey's Anatomy.
Then you get tired.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't like call. So if that does not fit into your lifestyle, then that may not be the career for you. So I would say shadow, see what we actually do, because it's not just passing instruments. And then go from there.
Okay. So I think you kind of answered the question that I was going to ask you earlier about someone who is in another career transitioning into being a scrub tech. Because I know that can be a bit of a struggle for people. Like if this is your second career, because even when I started in my residency with you all, we had 2 people who this was their second career, and it didn't fare out well for them. They decided that this is not something I want to do, so they're going elsewhere. But what advice would you give to somebody who this is their second career and they're just trying something out?
I would say it also matters what led you to this, to wanting this change, because we have a nurse at my job. She was an accountant. No, let me get it right. She was in mortgages or something finance. She was in finance for many years, and she said that her son went through a medical emergency, and she remembered how the nurses made her feel. She remembered her encounter with the nurses, and so she wanted to give back in that same way. That's what made her want to become a nurse after all those years. So sometimes that can be what leads you there. But if you don't have a purpose like that, then I would say shadow. Shadow, see what they actually do, because you may have an idea of what they do in your head, and it does not look the same. So I mean, get out there and find somebody you can shadow, so you can get a real world experience.
Yes, because even I can say, for instance, I did some shadowing in undergrad because I did not know what I was going to do. I just knew that I was going to be in the medical field. And so I shadowed in the OR one day, and it was boring. It was boring. All I smelled was flesh because they were putting in a stent. And I was like, I do not like this. And then I had an externship. In my externship, you get to do a little bit more, like you helping out, but you can't touch the patient. But you can help out a little bit. And so I was like, I kind of like this. And then the surgeon that was in there, he was like, I think that you should do this. Mind you, this surgeon used to be a nurse. So he started off as a CNA, became a nurse, and then went back to school to be a doctor. And so he was like, I think this is something that you should do. And I was like, And so I started where we ended up working, and I was like, I was in COVID for a while, so I was like, I don't really want to be on the floor because of everything I'm enduring. What else can I do to still give autonomy to my patients, still help them in a way, but not have to have that one-on-one contact? And I got onto that little intranet, and I saw that they did have an opening at our old location. So I was like, okay, let's see what this is going to be about. And I loved it. I also ended up being in ortho as well, which ortho is a calling, y'all. It's not something that you really gonna like at first. But then once you're in it, you're like, hold on, this is something. This is something. Now, some people may say, if you're an ortho, something got to be wrong with you up here. I remember one lady was like, yeah, those ortho surgeons, they gotta be psychopaths. Like, they have to be.
They're not that.
Because when they in there and they doing totals, and they they just mallet and hitting with hammers, and they all of the blood everywhere. Everybody's like, oh my God, why would somebody actually want to do that? Because it's needed. It's not that that's something that they actually want to do day in and day out, because you have to think about the strain that it does on their bodies. But it's something that is needed, and a lot of patients go through life having hip, knee problems, and they have to have those surgeries. But with all that being said, we're coming to the conclusion of our episode. So what would you say, one piece of great advice that you would give to someone looking into this career but they feel like they can't see it for themselves?
You kind of gotta see something.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I would never want somebody to do is do something that they hate.
Right.
It's gonna be hard for you to go to that job every day.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. I would want you to want this. But I would say go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's people at my job that have done several different things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to try different things to know what you really like.
Right. And you're not lying. Like, even if you decide to go through the pathway to go become a scrub tech, there are always other things that you can do where you can pivot, where you can change. And that experience may help you grow into someone that you never saw before. And also, you make great connections. You might find somebody that is a surgical tech, but they're also something else. Or they have their own business, or they have all of these things. So you want to make sure that you're doing the things that you want to do because you want to do them. You can also be a travel scrub tech. We have a friend who's a travel scrub tech. And if you feel like you feel boxed into one area, you can always say, well, you know what, I want to go somewhere else. Get that experience up front that you really need, and then go fly your wings because you taught him well. She taught him well, and then he went to travel, and all of these things will come from that. But I will also say,
with less than a year of experience, he went and traveled too.
Now he was supposed to be back.
Yeah. But he did well.
But he did it, and
he did well. And he would always call me and tell me how grateful he was for the way that I taught him, because he was then being requested at the hospitals that he went to. I was like, okay.
And she taught us all. So what I would like to say to everyone across the United States of America, okay, OR circulators, our best friend in the OR is our scrub techs. We cannot do anything in that room without communication with them, without their knowledge, without their expertise. And you want to make sure when you're going into these ORs that you're communicating with them, that you're building rapport with them, because whether you like them personally or not, they are there because their purpose is the same purpose and goal as yours, and that's to make sure that the patient makes it out of that OR alive with the right surgery done on the right site. Like, we all are there for the same purpose, for the patient. And so make sure that whenever you're going into these ORs, that you are respectful of people. Because I've seen so many times where everybody's trying to grab a hold of the room. This is my room. This is my room. Like, I'm not letting go. Well, this is all of our rooms, and we have to work as a team. So if you don't like teamwork, if you like being like a reserved person, this may not be the area for you. However, it's okay to try it. If you feel like this is too much, like all of this team stuff, I would rather just do it by myself.
In some instances you can. Like, I try to get to my room first and do everything I need to do before people come in touching stuff. Because I am a very independent worker, but I do not try to stop people from helping though. So, I try to be fair. I try to be fair.
With all that being said, I would love to thank her for coming on this podcast. We have tried to do this episode multiple times, but we were not able to finish those episodes because of technical difficulties. But I really do appreciate her for not only coming on this podcast, but for all she has taught me, for being a great friend throughout these years, because I met her and then
tell that story about.
I met her at work, and then all of a sudden we were in the locker room, and she said, "You want to come to my birthday party?"
Yes.
I was like, "Come to your birthday party? I don't even know you ladies." I don't know you lady, but at the same time, I'm always open to making new friends. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So we went, and we've been friends since. We've been friends since. But it is so beautiful seeing you where you are versus where you come from and the growth of it all. And you all will be seeing much more from her coming up. We're not going to discuss it here, but you will be hearing about her on the podcast later on. With all that being said, I hope that all is well for you all. It is midterm season, so I hope y'all did great. If y'all didn't get the grades up, y'all need to get them up. I know that it's hard, but you got it. With all that, I hope y'all have a great day, and you just listen to the Evolve Nurse Podcast. Bye.